Dear students, welcome to my English class of grade 9. Today we are going to study about a very important topic, that is science and ecology and environment from unit 7. So before we start this unit, let us know about ecology and environment. Okay, so ecology means it is the study of, you can say, study of organism, all living things. Okay, how they interact with the environment around them. And similarly, environment means the surrounding, okay, in which we, okay, and the animals and plants, okay, live or operate. So this is all about the ecology and environment. So students, we have some components of environment, okay, here. Like we have atmosphere, okay, ecosphere, lithosphere, biosphere, and hydrosphere. So I think students, you must have studies in your science, okay. Okay. Anyway, we can discuss a bit about, okay, about these components. The first one we have atmosphere. So you can say it is the whole mass of air, okay, surrounding the earth. And second we have ecosphere. It is the part, okay, which is suitable for living creatures. This is the ecosphere. And the similarly lithosphere, okay, it is the we can say the hard part, okay, hard part of the earth, consisting of a hard stone or crust. And now biosphere. So biosphere, it is the region or surface also, okay, where there is living organism exist. So students, finally we have a hydrosphere. So hydrosphere, you can see clearly in the picture of water, okay. So hydro means water. So we can define as mass of water found on earth, okay, inside the earth also, and above the surface of earth. So this is all about the components of environment. So students, we have now reading 1. So before reading 1, some pre-questions, we have two questions are here. The first one we have, what preparations do you and your family make as the winter season approaches? Yes, sir. So before the winter comes, students, what preparation, okay, we often do. So students, if you are living, okay, far away from your city, you are living, okay, somewhere in village, so there I can see people, okay, people often, okay, collect, okay, they start collecting the dry wood from the jungle, so that they can have fire to keep, okay, keep themselves warm. So apart from this, uh, they wear, thick and warm cloth, okay, woolen cloth, okay, so as to keep themselves warm. So this is what we can do, okay, to keep ourselves, to protect ourselves from the cold. We have a second question, how do animals and birds protect themselves from the cold? Okay, but here is the question, okay. So uh, but we all are, before we answering this question, we must know, okay, uh, we all human being, okay, can do anything, okay, to protect, can manage, okay, anything to protect ourselves from the cold. But the question arises here, okay, how the animal and bird protect, okay, from, okay, from the cold. So before answering this question, let us tell you one thing, okay, very important, that both human being and animals have the power of sensation. Okay, they can feel, they can taste also. There can be some similarity between human being and the uh, animals. So in this chapter we are going to discuss, okay, we are going to study about the birds and the animals, how they protect from themselves the cold. So here we have students paragraph. Okay, so let's start now. The weather gets colder, day gets shorter, and leaves change color and fall of the trees. When there is a sign of cold, and the day starts getting colder, and the day starts getting shorter. Okay, and leaves of the trees start getting change in color. They start getting in yellowish in color, and they also start falling from the tree. It means the winter is coming, okay, about to come. The snow covers the ground. Yes, it means all around there is a snow. Okay, people live in warm houses, wear heavy coats outside. Yes, of course. When there is a winter, people start wearing warm cloth, woolen cloth, okay, and heavy coats outside. Okay, we often, okay, do wear this sort of clothes, okay, when we go outside during the winter season. This is uh, all human being can manage ourselves to protect from the cold. Now we have yes, the food. Our food comes from the grocery store. Yes, of course, our daily need things, okay, we can buy from the market or the grocery store. But what about animals? Here again the question is about the animals and the bird. How do they manage themselves from the cold? So we have students highlighted in pink color, okay, that is a word, okay, which is highlighted in pink color, a grocery. So this highlighted word grocery means, you can write the meaning also. This means we can say daily need shop. Daily need, daily needs shop. Shop. Okay. This is the meaning of this grocery. So you can write down, students, daily need shop. Well, students, now we have some paragraphs given here, A, B, C, D, and E. So, in the first paragraph, A paragraph, okay. So, let's start now. Animals do many different things, okay, amazing things to get through the winter. So, to protect from cold, okay, we often see small animals and birds, okay, they do some amazing thing that human being can't do. Some of them migrate. This means they travel to other places where where the weather is warm, or they can find food. Yes, some of them migrate means they start moving from one place to another. They start relocating themselves, okay, so that they can have uh, warm place where they can have good food, suitable food to survive there. So students, here is word in highlighted color, that is migrate. Migrate means to move, okay, from one place to another, okay, migrate. So you can write the meaning also, relocate. Yes, relocate is the right meaning here. So migrate means relocate or to move from one place to another. Yes, this is the migrate. Now, the many birds migrate, okay, in autumn because the trip can be dangerous. Some travel in large flock. Yes, students, some of them, okay, some of the birds, they start moving or migrating before the winter comes in the autumn season, because they always try to they always try to fly in flock in a group. So during that migration, their journey can be dangerous, as clearly you can see in the picture here. Okay, in a flock means a group. So you can write the meaning also. Trip means visit, and flocks means a group of animals, group of sheep, group of birds, group of any animals. This is a group, you can see, a group. This is the right word here. Okay, flocks. For example, geese fly in noisy V-shaped groups. Geese, they always fly, okay, in V shape, and making a noise, too much noise. Other kind of birds fly along, but some of the birds, they love to fly alone. How do they know, okay, when it is time to leave for the winter? It's very amazing, students, that you know that we human, we can't do that. The animals are doing. It's very amazing thing. Yeah, how do they, okay, how do they come to know that winter season is coming, about to come? Scientists are still studying this. Scientists are on their research, and they want to know how the birds and animals, okay, come to know about the migration. Scientists are on their research. They are doing research on that. Many see migration as a part of yearly cycle of change a bird goes through. Yes, so many of them think that it is a every year cycles, cyclic process. Every year, birds go to new place, they return back to their own place. So some of them think so. Yes, the cycle is controlled by change in the amount of daylight and the weather. So this whole cycle is controlled or managed by the change in the amount of daylight and the weather. Okay, so there are main, what are the main factor here? One is daylight and the weather. This is the main factor that are controlling this whole cycle of migration. So here is the word control, okay, in highlighted color. So students, you can write the meaning also. So this means manage, you know, managed. Okay, manage is the right word here. You can write in notes. Yes, birds can fly every long distance, okay, very long distance. As you know, students, birds have the capability of flying, okay, very long. They can go far away, so they can travel long distances. For example, the architons were nest close to the North Pole in the summer. Yes. For example, here is a word. Architons is a seabird. Okay, it always makes its nest. Nest is a shelter very close to the North Pole. In the summer season, is it tries to build its nest very close to the North Pole. But in the autumn, it flies south all the way to the Antarctica. Okay, in the autumn season, it flies. Okay, it flies to the south. Okay, to the North Antarctica. Each spring, it returns north. Okay, now each spring, then it comes back. Okay, most amazing birds travel shorter distance. Migrating birds travel shorter distance. So most of the migrating birds, the birds who move from one place to another, okay, they travel most often shorter distance, very short distance. But how do they find their way to same place each year? Because again, the question is here, how they find, okay, how do they find their same place everywhere they go to the same place during their migration. So this is the question here. Birds seems to navigate like sailor one state using the sun, moon, and the star direction. But it seems that uh, they take the help of sun, okay, and the moon and the star for their direction during their migration. It seems like, because here is the word navigate. Navigate means to give directions. Okay, you can write the meaning also, to give the direction. So who gives the direction? Suns, moon, and star. Direction to give. You can write to give direction. Yes, is that clear? Yes, to give the direction is the. Oh my God. Okay, no problem. You can write to give the direction. Like sailors who drives a boat and ship. Sailors mean boatman, ship. Okay, you can say like a driver. So birds, okay, they start getting help of sun and moon and the star for their direction. Okay, during their migration, they also seems to have compass in their brain using their magnetic field. Yes, students, it seems that, okay, in their brain there is a kind of device, okay, like compass. With the help of this, they are getting their places. So this is some amazing thing that we have to know. And even scientists scientists want to know about their mystery of this migration. So animals migrate too. Also, animals also migrate. Okay, besides the birds, and animals also migrate. So there are few mammals. The animals. Some mammals also, like some bat, caribou, elk, and whales. They travel in search of food each winter. When the winter comes, okay, before the winter comes, these animals also migrate, okay, along with the birds. Birds migrate, but beside the birds, there are some kind of mammals and animals, bat, caribou, and elk. They also migrate too, in search of why they migrate. Okay, so as to get good food, so as to get good shelter, okay, so as to keep themselves warm in the winter. That's why they migrate. This is the reason behind migration. They may here are some fish also, whales that travel in search of food. Whale is a kind of very gigantic fish in the sea. So these kind of fish also travel in search of food each winter. They also migrate. So students, so fish, animals, birds, all, okay, they migrate during the winter. So they may swim south or move into the deep warm water. Okay, they often they often they often swim, okay, south, and move deep into the water. They go very deep into, because in the deep there is a warm water. That's why they go very deep in the water. Some insects also migrate. Insects also migrate. Along with these all animals, and you can see birds, and some small insect also migrate in search of their food, like certain butterflies and moths, very long distance. Okay. Butterfly and moths, it's also insect. They can also migrate. They can also travel, okay, long distances in search of food. For example, monarch butterfly spend the summer in Canada. There is a butterfly named monarch, okay, which is in Canada, okay, in summer. They most often they spend their summer in Canada and the North US. Yes, North US and Canada. And monarch butterfly often there, spend their summer in Canada and northern US. They migrate as far as south as Mexico for the winter, but in the winter season they move to the south. Okay, South Mexico. Most migrating insects go much shorter distance, but they are most migrating insects, small insect. They travel very short distance. Many like termites and Japanese beetle move downward into the soil. There are some kind of termites also. They are also mites in the reddish color. Okay, insect and Japanese beetles. They always move very downward into the soil. They go deep into the soil. Earthworms also move down. Earthworms also move go down into the soil, some as far as 6 feet below the surface. Students, some earthworm, can go deep, 6 feet down in the soil. So this is all about the migration of animals, birds, fish, insects, which we studies in paragraph A. So how they migrate and why they migrate, where they migrate. This is all about their migration. And still, scientists are still on their research. Okay, they are researching the mystery of this migration. So this is all about your migrating of bird that we studied. Now we have paragraph number B. So in this paragraph, what we are going to study, let us see now. Some animals remain and stay active in the winter. Yes, students, there are some kind of animals, who remain very active during the winter season. They don't need to migrate from here and there. They must adapt. They must adapt to the change in weather. They adjust themselves according to the change in weather. Yes, here is a word that is adapt in highlighted color. You can write the meaning also. Meaning of this means to adjust. To adjust, or you can write adjust also. Adjust. So this is the right word. Students, as I am making this video, by using my phone, there can be some issue of sound or maybe anything else, and so I hope in future I am going to make good video using my laptop. But here my laptop is on repair, that's why I am using this mobile phone. So students, you can understand. Yes. Now to adjust means adapt means to adjust. They adjust according to the weather. They make changes in the behavior of bodies. Only they do what? They only change, in their behavior or in their bodies when the winter season come. It's very amazing, students. Some of birds and animals, they do migrate, but here are some kind of animals, they only change or adjust themselves according to the change in weather. So, God, it's there is some power. Many make change in their behavior bodies. Many make their change in behavior in bodies. To keep warm, animals they grow new thicker fur in the autumn. Yes, there are some kind of animals, they start growing new fur. Thick fur. Fur means hair. Hair. On their body. They have thicker fur in the autumn. They start growing the thicker hair. You can say hair in the autumn. on whistles and snowshoe rabbits. They are kind of these rabbits. The new fur is white. The hair of these rabbits are in white color. White color. That is to help them hide in the snow. That can help them to hide. Hide in the snow. So it's very amazing, students. It's because of some power, some god. So there are some kind of rat also having white hair, okay, outside their body, and so that they can hide. They can hide themselves, okay, inside the snow. The food is hard to find in. Yes, students, in the winter, it's very difficult, okay, for animals and the birds to find the food and the shelter because of the winter. Very difficult one for the birds and animals. So, students, during the winter season, as you know that for birds and animals, it's very difficult to find out the food and the shelter. That's why they do migrate from here and there, and okay, this is the main reason of their migration. Some animals like squirrels, mice, and beavers gather extra food, okay, in the autumn and store it to eat later. Yes, there are some kind of animals like squirrels, mice, and beavers. They start collecting extra food during the winter. Okay, they store inside their body in the form of fat, so they can use it later. Like rabbit and spend winter looking for moss, twigs, bark, and leaves to eat. Okay, some like rabbits. Okay, they spend winters. They always look for moss. Is a, you can say it's a kind of mud. Okay, that we found, um, you know, somewhere in the jungle, or like in the side of river. Twigs, bark, and leaves to eat. They start eating leaves. Uh, other animals eat different kind of food as the season changes. But there are some other kind of animal. They start eating different kind of food. Okay, according to the season. As the season start changes, they start eating different kind of foods. Okay, which they can find easily. The red fox eats fruits and insect in the spring, summer, and autumn. Okay, in three season there is a kind of animal, that is red fox, but I haven't seen that kind of animal. But here is a red fox. It starts eating fruit and insect. It starts eating both fruit and insect in the summer, spring, and the autumn. Three season it starts eating insect and fruit. In the winter it cannot find these things. Okay, during the winter season it's very difficult, as you know, to find out the foods, and that's why it is scarce. Because of the scarcity of all these foods and insect, it start eating what, small rodents called, it's a rat. It's a kind of rats. So this is all about paragraph number 2, where we studied about the animals. Those don't need to migrate from here and there. They start adjusting themselves according to the change in weather. So this is what we studied. Now we have next one, C number. Okay. Animals may find winter shelter in the holes, in trees or logs, under rocks or leaves, or underground. Yes, students, now in this chapter, now we are going to study about their, shelter. So animal may find winter, okay? There are many options for animals to have shelters. They may find somewhere in the holes of the tree, holes of the tree or logs. They can have shelter under the rocks, big rocks, or some of the small animals, like insect, rats. They can have shelter. Okay, under the leaves or the underground. They can hide themselves under the underground, or they can go deep. Okay, they can go inside the ground. Some mice even built tunnel through the snow. There are some kind of mice, students, as we studies, like mice having white hair. uh, I think this is the mice. Some kind of mice, they start making tunnels. Tunnel is a way, passage, okay, under the ground or through the snow. They start making, okay, tunnels through the snow, throughout the snow. So here we have a word that is tunnel. I think you must have heard about the word tunnel. It is a long passage, okay, a long passage, passage, a way, we can say. It's a long passage, a way. So you can write the meaning, students. So they start making a way, okay, throughout the snow. To try to stay warm, animals like squirrels and mice may huddle close together. And here is a word again in highlighted. Huddle means, huddles, you can say, to get closer, okay, to get together in a close group, in a group. Most of the animals, so that so as to keep themselves warm, like animals and squirrels, they start coming closer to each other, okay, in the winter season, so that they can keep themselves warm. So here is the word again, that is huddle. It is the meaning of, you can write here, to together, together in a close group, together in a close group. Yes, students, you can write the meaning. Together in a close group means huddle. So they start coming closer to each other in the winter season, so that they can keep themselves warm. Certain spiders, spiders and insect may stay active if they live in frost-free area and can find their food. There are some kind of spider insect. Yes, if they find suitable place, okay, they can have food. They can have food there. Okay, if they find suitable place for them. Okay, suitable area also, place they can have. Okay, they can find food to eat them. There are a new insect, few insects like the winter stonefly, cranefly, and snow fleas that are normally active in winter. Yes, as we have studied, there are some kind of animals also who remain always active in the winter. There are some kind of insects also, who remain, okay, that those remain very active in the winter season. They don't need to go anywhere, they don't need to migrate somewhere. There are some stonefly, cranefly, and the snowflies. Normally they remain active during the winter. Bears, skunks, chimpanzees, and some bats hibernate. But there are some kind of animals like bears, skunk, chimpanzees. Some bats hibernate when they go in deep sleep. Hibernate here means they go in. Sorry, we are in paragraph number C. Also, some fish stay active in cold water during the winter. Also, there are some fish also, they stay very active in the cold water. Okay, during the winter, they don't need to go, they don't need to migrate from one to another place. So there are some kind of amazing animals also. Some of them migrate, some of them don't migrate. Okay, they may remain active during the winters, and this is what we studied in paragraph C. So now we have D. So let us start. I think the video is going to be very longer one, and yes, I'm going to finish it very shortly. So students, let's now start. Some animals hibernate for part of all the winters. So students, there are some kind of elements, animals. Okay, here is the word hibernates. Yeah, let's know the meaning of this. To go sleep, okay, deep sleep, you can say. There are some other meaning also, but here we can understand is as a sleep, deep sleep, deep, deep sleep. Yes. So this is the meaning of hibernate. There are some kind of animals. They start, going deep sleep for the part for the winter, whole winter. Whole winter they start going deep sleep. This is a special, very deep sleep. This is not a kind of normal sleep. This is a very special kind of deep sleep, as you are going to study here. The animal's body temperature drops. The temperature of the animals, it starts decreasing, and its heartbeat and the breathing slow down. It's a heart breathing and the heartbeat. Beat heartbeat like this. Yes, number of times you'll start. Heartbeat we can count. It start also slowing down. It uses very little energy. For this process. It uses very less energy. They consume very less energy for this in autumn. In autumn, these animal gets ready for winter by eating extra food and storing it as body fat. Yes, these animals gets ready. They always are ready for the winter. Okay, because of why? Because of why they start eating extra food and start collecting inside their body in the form of fat. Okay, so that they can energize themselves. Okay, their energized body, and so that they can keep themselves warm and powerful and strong during the winter season. That's why they start collecting extra food. They use this fat for energy while hibernating. While going for deep sleep. They use this fat, fat energy during this hibernation. Some also store food like nuts or acorns to eat. Some of them start collecting foods like nuts. Nuts, dry fruits also, acorns to eat later in the winter. Okay, so they can use this fat in later in the winter. Bears, sharks, chimpanzees, and some bats hibernate. There are some kind of animals also. Students, they may go deep sleep, okay, during the winter. So this is all about your hibernation we studied in the paragraph number D. Now we have final one, that is E paragraph, and we are almost going to finish this one. So here we have cold-blooded animals like fish. Students, you must know about the cold-blooded animals. I think you must all know. Frogs, snakes, and turtles have no way to keep warm during the winter. Yes, students, there are some kind of creeping animals like frog. Frog is not creeping, but snakes and the turtle and frog, fish. There are some kind of animals. They don't have you know any way to keep themselves warm during the winter. Snakes and many other reptiles find their shelter in the hole. Yes, of course. They have only one option. Okay, they can go into the hole like snake and reptile and spend the winter. Okay, inactive. They can spend winter there. Okay, by going inside the hole or dormant. This is similar to the hibernate. Yes, dormant animals like motionless animals, sleepless. Sorry, sleeping. Dormant, you have to write the meaning. Motionless. Motionless. You can write the meaning here. Okay. There are some kind of animals which are motionless. They remain inactive during the winter. This is similar to hibernation. This is the similar to hibernation process. Water makes a good shelter for many. Water can be a good source of shelter for many animals. when the weather gets cold. When the weather gets cold, when the weather starts becoming cold, water can be the good shelter for many animals. They move to the bottom of lake and pool, and these animals start going very deep, okay, at the bottom of sea, bottom of water. Okay, at the bottom the water remains, water remains warm as compared to you know upper level of the water. Here deer, frog, yes, deer, frogs, turtle, and many fish hide under rocks, logs, or fallen tree. There are like turtles, turtles, frogs, and the many fish. They can hide under the rocks also, fallen trees also, on the leaves. They may even bury themselves in the mud. Mud, soil. Watery, watery mud, we can say. They can bury also themselves under the mud. They become dormant. Okay, they become motionless. Cold water hold more oxygen than warm water. As you know, students, the amount of oxygen is more in cold water than warm water. So, and the frog and the turtlets can breathe by absorbing it through their skin. Okay, and the turtle and the animals like what is that and the frogs, they can they can breathe with the help of their skins, their skins by vaporization. So this is all about, we studied about the e paragraph. So students, we have studied about the migration of the birds, animal, insect, and all, how they find their food, how they migrate from one place to another, and why they go to one place to another. This is what we studied about there. Okay, so this is all about the unit 7. As video is going to be very long here, so I am almost going to finish this one, students, and soon I'll be coming, I'll be coming with new exercises, okay, of unit 7 in new video. And till then, okay, so take care, and do subscribe my channel, and do like my video if you like, and so that it will be really going to encourage me in future. And that's what I am expecting from you. Okay, I am trying to make trying to give you the best. So this is all about me, from me. So see you later. Okay, till then, goodbye.